Hey, Ron.
Hi.
All right, Mr. Boyle, would you like to delete your recording or be held in contempt of court?
I'm not deleting my recording.
Okay, all right, you're in contempt of court. You're sentenced 10 days in jail. Take him into custody and take him to jail.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good day. Today, you're going to get the court that you deserve. I do find you in direct contempt of court.
All right, guys, what's going on? Levi Trumbull reporting here, and today this is part 2 as it relates to an auditor being put behind bars for 60 days as it relates to filming inside of a South Carolina courthouse. So at this point, you've seen the footage. He sat in jail for 10 days as it relates to recording inside of the courthouse in South Carolina. This is the contempt hearing in which he is later found to be in contempt, and another 50 days is tacked on to the original 10-day sentence. So with that, guys, check out this crazy situation out of South Carolina.
This court, or no other court, is hopefully going to do anything to violate your First Amendment rights or anyone else's First Amendment rights. But do you believe that conduct has to be a certain way in certain locations? Do you believe that? So,
Yes.
Courtroom setting at this moment, do you believe that you could stand up, scream, yell, do anything that you wanted to in this courtroom at this point in time?
No, Your Honor.
Do you believe that there will be consequences should you do that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Absolutely. Kind of equates to the window at the clerk's office. The Chief Justice's administrative order, for your benefit, I posted it the second time. If you go back and look at your video, you may be able to see it on there or not. It was posted in the hallway, all right? But I posted it a second time after you came in with that encounter. But I'm going to read in part. Common areas does not include any counter or window or immediately adjacent space used by the clerk of court's office for conducting court business with the public, and the use of electronic devices in such areas is prohibited. The second time that you came in, and you were held in contempt, and even in your email, you challenged the order of the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. He is not the only one that runs that court. There are other men and women that I'm sure is much smarter than anybody in this room, or they wouldn't be where they're at. Okay? It appears that personally and professionally that you've attempted to defame me and the court. You have attempted to allege that I'm a criminal without proving any criminal act. You posted it to YouTube, internet, sent to news outlets, alleging that, I believe the words were, that I'm a crook, that I'm unfair, unbiased, and things of that sort. What you done at that time is you committed slander by the words against me and this court. You committed, you were liable being that you put it in print. And the fact that you sent that also through email to also the other respondents, it demeans the operation of this court. It demeans any power that this court has. In chambers, and speaking with both counsels, I spoke to them about character and reputation. Characters, your actual character is what you do when nobody's looking. And I believe your reputation is what people think of you and what they say about you. I've done my best during my whole career to keep my character and reputation intact. Period. I am not going to allow you nor anyone else to ever take that away. I have my own family. And when I go home at night, I want to lay my head down and have a proper conscience about the things that I do. Do I like being here addressing this with you today? Absolutely not. Did I like it when I come in and seen it, and then you had the audacity to not only post it online, but here you go, send it to me in email. All right? That's like taking a needle and trying to stick it at somebody's eye. All right? Did I like it? No. Did I jump off the handle and go crazy? No. I think I'm better than that. You've indicated to some extent, I'm not going to state, you indicated that I only had a high school education. I don't know where you got that from. I'm a lay court judge with now over 25 years of experience. a total of 34 years experience between law enforcement and judicial services. I do have a college education, and I have well over 1,000 or so hours of judicial credit hours. I study, I read, I told counselors that I may not be the most best spoken person, but I just don't decide what I want to do. That's what I'm going to do for the day. I put thought and effort into it. I've worked hard to provide for my family, and for somebody like you to want to come and tear me down in the public, above being a probate judge, I'm an elected official. That is demeaning to anyone. I'm not taking it personal. I'm assuming that your fiance, whatever you call her your wife, or whatever she is to you, it appears to me that you just fall on a sword from her at the drop of a dime. That you would take that sword for her, whatever, whether she's right or wrong. Her issue will be taken care of on another day. But I'm telling you, sir, your conduct with this court is done. You've also alleged that I illegally kicked you out of this courtroom and that I later denied it. I never denied it. I will put it on the record now. What I told you on that particular day, you had this judge, regardless whether you knew who she was or not, speaking with somebody else out in our lobby. You intentionally interrupted her and told the person that she was speaking with about the proper filings of paperwork in probate court, for them not to pay attention to her, that probate court did not know what they were doing out there, and that she should come outside and talk to your wife, that your wife knew everything about probate. If your wife knew everything about probate, I guarantee you, you would not be sitting here today. Your wife would not have to be here next week if she knew everything about probate. I don't think there's anybody that absolutely knows everything about probate. I know I don't, but if my best practice, if I don't know it, I don't do it until I get the best answer. But you, sir, for you to do that, I had every right to prevent you from coming to this court. This is a public place, but I had every right to keep you out to protect other people. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you don't have to look up and think about it. If you don't, you say you don't.
Well, no, I understand what you're saying, Your Honor. I think some.
But do you understand that offering legal advice is illegal in this state? You understand that?
I don't know about that.
No, but I'm telling you.
You're telling me that I do.
In my 34 years experience, Mr. Chambers,
Yeah,
would giving somebody legal advice, would that be unlawful practice?
that's absolutely, that's.
Okay, all right. Don't take my word for it, but I'm telling you, your conduct is enough. It is enough. And after today, it's going to end one way or another. Today, it stops.
Yes, Your Honor.
I hope you understand that.
I do, Your Honor.
There was no fine amount in the world that would have prevented your conduct. I wasn't going to bring this portion up, but I am now because it's even more concerning to me. There's no doubt that you are a well-educated and a very intelligent person. I don't know if you've ever been studied for your common sense abilities. That I have no idea. I'm going to leave that there. I'm not going to try to demean you in any way. You have an absolute right to a First Amendment. And as I spoke to counsel previously in chambers, to some extent, I've lost my rights to First Amendment. When I became a judge and I took an oath, I don't get to go out here and say what I think about other people publicly. I don't get to publicly talk about politics because my job requires it. And if I want this job, then I'm required to do certain things. Yet you have a right like anyone else, your First Amendment. There's no way that I've ever got the ability to prevent you from exercising your First Amendment right. However, I can control your conduct when you come into my court. I've got somebody that's unruly that comes into this court. You can guarantee I'm going to take care of it. And as you know, I just did. So now you're here for the first portion of it. You came in twice. The second one, I think you probably knew that you shouldn't have done that to begin with, but the second time you definitely knew that you shouldn't have done that. Who's to say that the third time you don't come in with a weapon? If you can't control your anger that much, who's to say you don't do that the third time? I spoke to counsel about it, and I asked them, don't bring it up. But me seeing that you actually have assisted, helped, or done whatever with Navy weapons, I don't know what all that entails. But that is scary, and then you come in and want to intimidate and harass a court. All right, I'm a public official. I've got thick skin. That I can promise you. I've dealt with issues for years, being talked bad about, being talked good about, but I go back overall and talk about character and reputation. Regardless, at the end of the day, what you may think about me or maybe a few others, my reputation and character is intact, and it will be intact until the day I leave this office. That's a fact. That's for me to decide, not you. Mr. Bull, these are some serious issues. The day and time in which we live now, government, according to some people, government is eroding. People think they have no respect for government, no respect for rule of law. I'm required to take an oath, and I'm required to be bound by that oath. And I try to take that oath as serious as I can. I come to work, I try to provide a safe place for the employees that work here. I try to provide them with a good work experience. In general, when the public comes here, I generally try to provide them with a good experience. The majority of folks that come in here deal with grief. We understand that. People, their loved ones have died, and now they've got to go through the treacherous paperwork of trying to administer those estates. However, you got some that don't want to play by the rules. All right, and so then we have to deal with those individuals. I believe that when I was in law enforcement, Robert Kennedy once said that each community gets law enforcement to some extent, that I believe that each community should get the court that they deserve. And the fact that you come in, you're doing things the proper way, we're here to assist and do whatever we can, but if you're coming in here and misappropriation, which there's nothing's alleged in that particular state, but misappropriations, misconduct, and things like that, then you need to get the court that you deserve. Today, you're going to get the court that you deserve. I do find you in direct contempt of court. You've already served a sentence of 10 days. Court hereby sentences you to 60 days in the county jail. And I would suggest that you abide by everything that you indicated and gave word as a gentleman that that's what you would do. But your conduct is over with this probate court. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.